Annie and Ryan were Hollywood's favorite fake perfect couple. In public, he adored me obsessively, getting into fistfights with other men over me, whispering sweet nothings at red carpets. In private, he despised me, keeping a gorgeous young mistress downtown. He slid diamond rings onto her finger, called her wifey. His entire entourage referred to her as Mrs. Adams. I never protested, just quietly deleted years of old texts where he'd vowed eternal love. We'd been each other's first loves, tangled in this toxic dance for 7 years. Then my illness started erasing him, neuron by neuron. Suddenly he panicked, showering me with grand romantic gestures, desperate to make me remember. Too late. He watched helplessly as I fell for someone new. The year Ryan met Ivy, our marriage shattered. She was a fresh-faced acting graduate, all wide eyes and dimpled smiles that mirrored my 22-year-old self. Friends whispered she was my replacement, that Ryan's interest would fade. After all, everyone had witnessed our decade-long saga, the golden boy brought to his knees, sobbing in the rain outside my apartment, smashing his Oscar in a drunken rage when I left. We were supposed to be each other's forever punishment. I remember our last reconciliation. Ryan tore my designer gown to shreds, his mouth hot against my throat as he growled, "We're gonna destroy each other till we're old and gray." Annie. Back then, I couldn't imagine him wanting anyone else. Then year 3 of marriage hit. Enter Ivy. Initially, Ryan loathed her. They co-starred as lovers in some indie film. She'd blush violently during their scenes, fumbling lines whenever their hands touched. During our nightly calls, he'd mock her star-struck giggles. She showed up to set wearing Pokemon pajamas. He'd sneer, tried seducing me in cut-off denim shorts like some Jersey Shore reject. But I noticed, his complaints always ended with amused snorts. Our 2-hour calls dwindled to 20 minutes as he explained basic acting techniques to that airhead. The night Ivy tweeted about staying up with her crush, Ryan's phone stayed busy for 8 hours. When the film wrapped, paparazzi caught them sharing cotton candy at the wrap party, his arm slung around her shoulders, both grinning like teenagers. That's when I knew. The king of cruel devotion had finally changed loyalties. Now he freezes when I enter rooms. Last week, I found our wedding album burning in the fireplace. He'd handwritten across a photo, "Replacements last longer." I'm considering sending it to Ivy, with a note about his pyromaniac phase during our sophomore breakup. Let her learn the hard way. The reporter asked him, "Now that work's over, what do you want to do most?" He opened his phone to reveal a photo of Annie wearing an apron, pouting playfully at him. With a tender smile, he said, "I want my wife right now. I want to eat her home-cooked meal." In some ways, Ryan could be considered my patron. Since he stopped loving me, I buried my true feelings deep. Following his wishes to focus on earning money seemed practical enough. That evening, I prepared an elaborate dinner, but Ryan never came home. I didn't wait up, going to bed early instead. Around midnight, my phone rang with his drunken mumbling, "Sweetheart, good girl, miss you so much, come get me." He hadn't called me wife in ages. My eyes stung, but I stayed silent. His friend's voice cut through. "Who's the big shot actor calling? Is it Ivy?" Their chorus echoed through the receiver. "Mrs. Adams, Ryan made a wish tonight about staying with you forever." So he'd been calling Ivy. Called her sweetheart. His brothers already treated her as family. He'd long since brought Ivy into his world. My head throbbed violently as I hung up, burrowing under blankets until morning. It didn't matter. I could pretend not to care, my acting skills were top-notch. News of our marital troubles spread quickly. The whole industry whispered about his affair with Ivy. He took her to candlelit dinners, bought her houses and cars, even rented entire amusement parks for childish carousel rides. He adored her so fiercely, showering her with every luxury. Even that ruby necklace I'd coveted for years but could never obtain, Ryan recently acquired it. I assumed it would go to Ivy. Yet one morning I awoke to find the necklace gleaming on my nightstand. A note beside it read, "Happy Anniversary." Ryan's handwriting. Silently, I crumpled the paper into the trash. I no longer understood his mind games. Nor cared to. Days later at a private gala, I finally met Ivy. Her eyes immediately locked onto my necklace. Ivy said, "Mr. Adams bought me so much jewelry recently." She simpered. "But this piece looked matronly. I told him to give it to you instead. It suits someone more mature." She giggled, twirling a champagne flute. "He insists on treating me like a child. Though I'm 22. But compared to you, Annie, I suppose I am rather youthful." My smile didn't waver as realization struck. My cherished anniversary gift had been Ivy's cast-off. Delighted by my discomfort, she pressed further. "No need to feel awkward about keeping hand-me-downs. Ryan spoils me excessively anyway. If you see anything else you like," she gestured grandly at her diamond earrings. "Anything I want?" I echoed sweetly. Ivy nodded triumphantly. My fingers closed around her glittering earring. With a sharp yank, I tore it from her lobe. Her scream pierced the ballroom as blood dripped through her fingers. Looking down at her cowering form, I asked softly, "Thank you for the gift. May I have the matching one too?" Chaos erupted around us as security rushed in. Ryan arrived moments later, finding his mistress bleeding on the marble floor and his wife smiling serenely, crimson droplets staining her ivory gown. His face turned icy when he saw the blood on the floor. Ryan yanked me into his arms, checking me over from head to toe with frantic urgency that almost seemed genuine. Ivy released her bleeding ear, letting crimson streaks ruin her white gown as she reached for Ryan. "Mr. Adams. It hurts." Her trembling voice trailed off when Ryan jerked his arm away, his glacial stare freezing her mid-step. The air thickened as Ivy bit her quivering lip. She'd clearly miscalculated. Wealthy men kept mistresses discreetly. But public scenes? Unforgivable. Ryan's thumb brushed my furrowed brow, his tone deceptively soft. "Who upset you?" The silence stretched until he suddenly smashed a vase against the wall. "Deaf motherfuckers. Who made my wife unhappy?" Ivy finally snapped. "Me. It's all my fault." She appended a wine glass over her bloody dress, alcohol mingling with red stains. Satisfied. "Mr. Adams? Is your precious wife happy now?" Ryan's grip on my shoulder tightened painfully, perhaps pained by her display. "Are you satisfied?" He growled at me instead. I laughed until tears threatened. "Must be exhausting pretending to love me. Let's make it easier. Give me money. Lots of it. Then we divorce." Ryan's eyes darkened as he hissed in my ear. "Should have known you're just a gold-digging liar. Rot in hell for playing with hearts." I pushed him away, migraine pounding. "You're such a jinx. Ryan. Forgot to tell you, the doctors say my brain's sick. Might hurt. Might forget. Might," my voice broke. "Might die." He'd known from the start. Known I'd dated that finance bro before him. Still, Ryan pursued me relentlessly. Lavish dates. Rose petal baths. That rainy proposal day trapped in my memory. We'd been watching rom-coms when he suddenly produced a massive diamond. "Annie. Say I love you and I'll marry you right now. All my money's yours." My traitorous heart nearly burst before I teased. Worst proposal ever. The bastard handcuffed me with that ring anyway, pinning me to the couch. "Keep sassing me and I'll strangle you," he'd growled before kissing me senseless. Back when I love you felt true. Back when he still trusted me. Now pills rattle in my purse as new symptoms emerge. Forgotten anniversaries. Missed inside jokes. Yesterday I couldn't recall Ryan's coffee order, the one I'd memorized during our first month dating. The fear claws at me when I wake screaming from nightmares. only to find him already holding me. Still here, he murmurs against my hair. Unaware I'm forgetting what his laughter sounds like. My health keeps deteriorating, and the doctor added more medications. As I was leaving, he frowned and asked, "Why do you always come alone? Where's your family? You need their care and support." But I don't have family. What am I supposed to do? When I was 6, my mother abandoned me on the street, saying she'd buy me candy. She never returned. I thought I'd never see her again until I encountered Ivy at the hospital. The ear I'd torn during our fight was swollen and infected. She came for a dressing change. The middle-aged woman accompanying her made my breath catch. That woman looked exactly like my mother. I moved toward them without thinking. Ivy recoiled in fear. My mother shielded her, shoving me violently while screaming, "You vile creature! Still bullying my daughter?" She grabbed my hair, screeching, "Lay a finger on my baby and I'll kill you." The slap came fast. Blood trickled from my split lip as hot tears spilled over. She didn't recognize me. She'd forgotten me completely. Ivy was her daughter now. I'd actually seen her once before, when I was 13, while collecting plastic bottles near the market. I spotted them across the street, my mother holding Ivy's hand, laughing tenderly. I sprinted toward them, screaming, "Mom, it's me, Annie. Don't go." She paused, turning with startled eyes. Ivy tugged her sleeve, whining, "Mom, it's a stinky beggar." They wore matching dresses and shiny shoes while I stood in rags. "I'm not a beggar," I whispered. "I'm your daughter." When I reached out, Ivy burst into theatrical tears. "She's stealing Mr. Snuggles." My mother shoved me to the ground, snarling, "Filthy street rat. You scared my precious angel." Now, 20 years later, history repeated. Instead of begging like that desperate child, I shoved her back with equal force. She ripped off my mask, wailing, "Celebrity assault. Annie attacked us." Ivy immediately removed her own mask, collapsing dramatically at my feet. "Annie, I'll endure your abuse, but please spare my elderly mother." Cameras flashed around us. I should have left. Instead, I yanked Ivy's hair until our eyes met. Such devoted daughters. I hissed, "Let's see how you like Mom's parenting style." My designer bag smashed into her face repeatedly, thud after cathartic thud. The pain in my chest eased slightly. Without this release, I might have jumped from a rooftop already. Living shouldn't hurt this much. My mother lunged at me, nails raking my arms as security finally intervened. Maybe once she finds out I'm the Annie she abandoned, she'll never forgive me. But it's fine. Mom, if you don't want Annie, then Annie doesn't want you either. The video of me slapping Ivy quickly went viral. Netizens flooded my social media with hate. "Are you jealous that Ivy's younger and prettier? How could you humiliate her like that? Someone investigate the Wilson family. Annie's clearly a spoiled rich brat who's bullied people since childhood." Don't cry, Ivy. I know where Annie lives. I'll make her pay. I was in the parking garage, just stepping out of my car, when I heard someone call, "Are you Annie?" I turned to see a man gripping a baseball bat, his eyes blazing as he swung at me. Suddenly, strong arms yanked me backward. Ryan shielded me, taking the brutal hit across his back. He kicked the attacker to the ground, snarling, "Touch my wife again and I'll end you." For a heartbeat, watching Ryan beat that man senseless, I almost forgot we were divorcing, almost believed he still loved me, but I'd forgotten what his love even looked like. Ryan hadn't been home in months. He'd only come tonight because of Ivy. Our penthouse was a disaster, clothes piled on the sofa, takeout containers everywhere. Ryan rolled up his sleeves and started cleaning. He held up a lace bra I'd tossed aside, smirking. Annie, you're hopeless as a wife. You should learn from Ivy. She's gentle. Apologize to her, it kills me seeing her cry. Right. Ivy's the golden child mom adores. Ivy's the angel Ryan wants. And me? The unlovable mess everyone discards. I hurled the folded clothes off the bed. Make me apologize? Just stab me instead. Ryan dragged me onto his lap. Fingers digging into my hips. Always so difficult. He murmured, pulling out his phone. With one call, he had me removed from the Best Actress nominees, the award I'd bled for. Literally. Last month, I'd fractured 2 ribs filming a stunt. Refused a double. Finished the take with blood dripping into my eyes. That trophy was mine. I smashed his phone against the wall, tears splashing my shaking hands. You want to punish me for hurting Ivy? Fine. But I'm never apologizing. Ryan pressed his forehead to mine, voice cracking. You think this is about Ivy? I hate you. Annie. I loved you so damn much. But you stole from me, funded your ex's business with my money. Yet here I am, still falling for your tears. He cradled my face, thumb wiping my cheeks. Stop crying. You'll get your trophy. His hand hovered near my mouth. I bit down hard, tasting blood. Ryan didn't flinch. When I finally let go, his eyes were as red as mine. He pulled me into his embrace, kissing my ear, as if bidding farewell. He spoke slowly, Annie. This is the last time I'll be good to you. But this time, Ryan lied to me. On the night of the awards ceremony, I wore my most extravagant gown and priceless jewelry, ready for my grand finale. Yet the host announced, Best Actress Ivy. The media captured my frozen moment of rising with lifted hem, turning it into public humiliation. Ivy cradled the golden trophy, beaming at Ryan as she cooed. The man I love promised that if I won tonight, he'd come home to meet my mom. She's making dumplings for our family reunion dinner right now. How fortunate she was, possessing everything I craved. A mother. Ryan. And that trophy I'd never hold again. Ryan leaned close, his breath hot against my neck as he taunted. How does betrayal taste? Annie? This was his revenge. He'd never believed me, not when I said I loved him, nor when I told him I was sick. My headache returned, as Ryan's face blurred in my vision and memory. I clutched my chest, whispering, being deceived hurts. Blinking slowly, I murmured, but who are you? I collapsed at the ceremony. Waking in the hospital, I found my manager Ling screaming at Ryan. What did Annie ever do to deserve this? She demanded, pointing at me. Ryan hurled photos across the room, images of me embraced by another man. Ling froze as he sneered. Cat got your tongue? When Annie sent her lover abroad with my money, did she consider my feelings? Why didn't you just ask her? Ling countered. Ryan barked bitter laughter. From dating to marriage, I've chased her like a lovesick puppy. Now she cheats and I'm supposed to beg for explanations? I'm nobody's doormat. Plenty of women know their place. Annie's just the first stupid enough to cross me. His tirade ended when the door burst open. A fist smashed into Ryan's face as a new voice drawled. Kevin. The first man Annie loved. Ryan instantly recognized him from the photos, the same man I'd funded through medical school. 2 suits became a snarling tangle of limbs. Ling shouted over the chaos. Enough. Ryan! Kevin's her doctor. He held her when she collapsed after her diagnosis, when she desperately called you only to get Ivy instead. Where were you when she needed you most? Ryan froze mid-punch. What call? The hesitation cost him as Kevin kicked him down. Slumped against the wall, Ryan mumbled. When did Annie call? He never knew. That day, Ivy had answered his phone. Through my tears, I'd heard her cruel laugh. Sick? Serves you right. The line went dead. I never redialed. Ryan's phone used to be sacred, mine alone to touch. Now Ivy played with it like her personal toy. I know I'm no longer Ryan's one and only. His distraction in our relationship is unforgivable. From that day on, I carefully crafted my revenge plan. The first thing I did upon waking was grab Kevin's collar. Kevin, you troublemaker. Fighting again? I scolded, frustration creasing my brow. We'd grown up together in the orphanage, where he'd always been the fiercest fighter. 9 out of 10 brawls started over protecting me. Examining his bruised knuckles, I whispered, "Does it hurt?" Ryan suddenly gripped my wrist, yanking my hand away. His smile didn't reach his cold eyes as he demanded, "Annie, who exactly are you fussing over? Your fiancé's right here." Meeting his gaze, I slowly withdrew my hand. "Since when am I engaged?" His expression darkened before he forced a laugh, tousling my hair. "Still playing those orphanage mind games? Annie? When will you tire of this charade?" "Never. Not when I'm Annie, the girl who always has an ace up her sleeve." When Ling Jia threw my medical reports at Ryan, reality hit hard. My condition erases selective memories. He couldn't stomach me remembering Ling Jia, Kevin, countless trivial details, yet forgetting everything about us. He dragged me to endless specialists, refusing to believe the diagnosis. Nights found him slumped by my bed, shoulders shaking with silent sobs. Once I woke to find him clutching my diary, its pages exposing his growing detachment. March 20th, 2023. Kevin's first act after returning from overseas was demanding I get tested. "Remember my promise?" he'd said since we were teens, battling my migraines. Now a full-fledged doctor. He's determined to cure me. I'm terrified not of dying, but of leaving Ryan. That sentimental fool would drown in tears without me. March 23rd, 2023. The diagnosis crushed me. In weak desperation, I called Ryan. His new co-star Ivy answered with honeyed malice, "Serves you right." Her jealousy hung thick as San Francisco fog. March 24th, 2023. Tell me about Ivy. I casually asked Ryan. He listed her flaws yet knew she loves Sailor Moon, boba tea, and pairing fishnets with Daisy Dukes. My gut twisted. He's falling for her without realizing it. March 26th, 2023. I found amazing spicy cod today. Ryan's eyes should have lit up when I promised to take him. Instead, he reminisced. "Ivy saw my Sichuan lunch today. Asked if it was too hot." The chopsticks trembled in my hand. He deliberately claimed it wasn't spicy and served Ivy a piece, urging her to try it. The spiciness made Ivy cry, which he found hilarious. Hilarious? Then why do I feel so miserable? April 3rd, 2023. Ryan has been calling me these past few days. I never picked up. April 4th, 2023. Kevin accompanied me through the most agonizing part of my hospital treatment today. Pathetically, I found myself missing Ryan. That night, I saw Ivy's Twitter post about kissing Ryan. They planned to stay up all night talking. When I called Ryan, the line was busy. I'd wanted to tell him about my illness, but whatever. His heart isn't here anymore. April 28th, 2023. He doesn't reach out, I don't either. Fine by me. I'll just treat him as my personal ATM from now on. We'll make do. May 8th, 2023. Ryan wrapped up filming today. He said he missed his wife's cooking, but I can't recall his favorite dishes. Lately, it feels like every memory of Ryan is being erased from my mind. Our chat history showed he loves spicy food and poached fish in chili oil. I burned my hand trying the recipe, but Ryan never came home. He called past midnight, mistaking me for Ivy. Sweetheart this. Darling that. His buddies even started chanting Mrs. Adams for Ivy. So it's Ivy he craves. Ivy's cooking he desires. Screw this. I don't want him anymore. Ryan closed my diary and smiled faintly when he noticed I was awake. His scruffy beard made him look terrible. Stop visiting, I said. Our marriage is dead. Don't pretend to care. Shouldn't you be with Ivy? Let's file for divorce, I'll get out of your way. He pinched my cheek. Irritation flashing. Who said I want Ivy? Ryan only loves Annie. Remember that. His voice cracked. I lashed out because I saw you hugging Kevin, it drove me mad. Before our relationship began, I'd warned him about my feelings for someone else. No problem. He'd shrugged. I'm just here to fund your life. He insisted I treat him as a generous benefactor. When Kevin got that international exchange opportunity, I'd swallowed my pride to ask Ryan for money. He wired the funds without questions, until recently, when he dug up every detail about Kevin and me from that embrace photo. We were just orphans surviving together, I explained. If anything existed, it was my one-sided crush. Kevin said I deserved better. Ryan knelt by my bed, eyes bloodshot. My fault for accusing you blindly. Please don't leave. I'll find the best doctors. Hate me all you want when your memories return, just don't forget me. Annie. Please don't forget Ryan. I laughed bitterly. Even without memories. I know the truth. Ryan. You never truly trusted me. An orphanage raised nobody, easy to love yet easier to despise. You cherished me while believing me inherently cheap and tainted. He protested weakly as I stared at the ceiling. What can be forgotten was never important. I'm done with you, Ryan. When I said I wanted a divorce, Ryan dismissed it as childish petulance. He took me to my favorite restaurant, strolled with me under the familiar canopy of trees we'd always loved, retelling our shared history like bedtime stories, how I'd adored him, how he'd cherished me. Yet my memories remained stubbornly blank. On a summer evening, Ryan brought me to our old haunt in the park, steering us towards secluded benches. He cracked open a chilled lemon soda with that practiced smile. Your favorite, he said, condensation dripping down the glass. I shrugged away the offering. Tastes change. Just like this place. His smile faltered. Then tell me what you prefer now. I'll get it right next time. My phone buzzed. Kevin's ETA flashed as concert time approached. Through the dappled sunlight, Kevin emerged carrying strawberry Fanta. My new vice. Ryan's grip tightened on my arm as I stood. Stay, Annie. Don't go with him. I shook free. You don't own me, Ryan. Those memories you keep resurrecting? They're yours alone. I'm building new ones now. His face crumpled like a scolded child's as I walked away, trailing my shadow until Kevin's pink portable fan blew cool relief across my sweaty face. When Ryan spotted our concert tickets, desperation edged his voice. That band's too loud for you. Let's go home. I'll play piano like. Kevin shoved him aside. Quit the act. You never knew her, how she hates your precious quiet. Your stuffy parks. Your damn lemonade. She's outgrown you. That night, I screamed along to Goodbye Youth until my throat burned. By dawn, influencer accounts blared headlines, Annie caught cheating. Viral clips showed me clinking beers with Kevin. Ivy's subtweet cut deepest trashy overlaid on rotting cabbage. Caption no self-respect equals spoiled produce. Ryan countered with concert footage he'd secretly taken, me laughing unrestrained under strobe lights. Misunderstanding. He tweeted. I was there too. First concert with my wife, she hopped around like a bunny finding strawberry fields. We'll chase that joy forever. At Annie. Let's keep loving what you love. The internet erupted. Qing Dynasty called they want their misogyny back. Flooded Ivy's comments. Since when is hugging friends immoral? You literally dry hump Ryan during filming. Hypocrite. She stole Annie's award then cloned her look. Annie's fans are bullies. Ivies are pure-pour acid on that homewrecker. At noon, I posted the yellowed photograph, me as a toddler in estranged arms. The caption unraveled everything: foster system survival. Kevin's childhood protection. The mother who chose Ivy repeatedly. How decades of abandonment finally snapped when Ivy taunted "nobody wants you" during that awards show altercation. The park bench stood empty when I returned that evening. Only wind stirred the lemon soda Ryan left behind. Its fizz long gone flat. Ivy once brought my mom on a reality show. Observant netizens soon realized her mother was actually my biological mother. The internet exploded. People flooded Ivy's social media, calling her mother a criminal. Ivy immediately deactivated her accounts. 2 days later, my mom posted a lengthy statement claiming she'd indeed lost a daughter years ago due to her own negligence. She wrote about crying daily, contemplating suicide until Ivy's birth gave her hope. She called Ivy her pure angel and most precious treasure. Regarding me, she expressed disappointment that if I were truly her lost child, I'd grown into a lying adult. She claimed heartbreak over failing as a parent, but questioned the authenticity of my photos if I wasn't her daughter. I closed my phone, nauseated by the hypocrisy. The statute of limitations had expired on her abandonment. But Ryan desperately sought redemption. He'd eliminate anyone who hurt me. Within days, damning leaks flooded the internet. Ivy sleeping with executives pre-debut, mocking fans as idiots, having flings with co-stars. Then Ivy's mother got arrested for illegal gambling rings. She called me sobbing, "Annie, save me. Tell your husband to help. Ivy can't reach him. I searched for you so long. Annie, don't you miss me? I'm your mother." I listened calmly before responding, "Mom, Annie died. You should join her in hell." Ryan pretended nonchalance when I hung up, but his anxious eyes betrayed him like an eager puppy. He pulled me onto the couch, head resting on my shoulder. "Annie," he pleaded, "let me love you enough to make you stay. Please don't leave. Don't love anyone else." 3 months later, Ryan still ignored divorce talks. My health stabilized with monthly treatments, always the most chaotic days. He'd drive me to the hospital where Kevin waited. As we walked toward the elevator, Ryan inevitably inserted himself between us. The two men bickered incessantly until I wanted to slap them both. I shoved candy into Kevin's mouth to silence him. He smirked around the suite, taunting Ryan. "Got more?" Ryan asked petulantly. "These are for Kevin," I explained. "He has multiple surgeries today." Ryan's smile faltered before he mussed my hair. "My wife's so thoughtful. Just like always. Such a perfect partner. I'll never let you go. We'll get through this. Annie." The elevator's silence felt heavier with all three of us. I kept waiting for Ryan to tire of this charade. I never expected the end to come so suddenly. The elevator doors opened to reveal Ivy wielding a kitchen knife. Hair wild as she screamed, "Die together." Her career already lay in ruins from broken contracts and bankruptcy. Now madness consumed her. I reacted instantly, yanking Kevin out of harm's way as the blade flashed. Only Ryan was left. He remained in a protective stance, shielding me when Ivy's dagger pierced his shoulder. The chaos erupted too swiftly. By the time anyone comprehended what happened, Ryan had already collapsed. His gaze remained locked on me until the very end. I watched the light in his eyes, that stubborn conviction of my love for him, flicker and die. We divorced by mutual agreement. He gave me an obscene amount of money, which I accepted without hesitation. Considering his adultery during our marriage, every penny was deserved. At the Civil Affairs office, Ryan looked alarmingly gaunt. Rumor had it Ivy's blade had struck near his heart, an injury requiring lifelong recovery. I didn't ask. Why bother with pointless gestures? Honestly, I'd worried he might back out last minute. Lawsuits are messy, and I might have lost my payday. But he simply kept his head bowed, signing documents and pressing his thumbprint without protest. As we parted, Ryan suddenly lifted bloodshot eyes to me. His attempt at a smile shattered into silent tears. When his lips parted, I turned away, waving goodbye. I slid into Kevin's sedan without hearing whatever plea he'd mustered. Through the rearview mirror, Ryan's figure shrank into the distance. Kevin snorted. "You're one cold-hearted woman." We both laughed. I loved Ryan with every fiber of my being once. Now I despise him with equal ferocity. Ryan, I have a secret I'll never tell you. I lost my memory. Or at least, that's what I let everyone believe.